everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cruising Israel. I'm your host, Natalie.
And I'm Max.
Max, today we're actually on our way to Kibbutz Tzuba, which is 30 minutes from Tel Aviv. It's right on the outskirts of Jerusalem by the Judean hills.
Okay, what's going on there?
Beautiful
Kibbutz Tzuba.
scenery. They actually have a lot of fun activities for tourists, for locals.
Oh, like what?
Fun.
What's going on?
Well, first we're going to the winery.
Cool.
The Kibbutz's winery. We're going to meet up with a very experienced winemaker from South Africa.
Cool.
He's been planting vineyards since the 90s or something.
Wow.
So we're going to have some wine tastings.
Sounds interesting. And then what?
And then, what goes good with wine, Max?
Generally, I don't know, some kind of dessert or maybe something sweet.
Yeah. Then after that, we're going to a chocolate shop. We're going to create some
Cool.
chocolatey
Nice.
stuff.
Sounds cool. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Kibbutz Tzuba in the Jerusalem hills features expansive vineyards surrounding picturesque scenery. The grapes grown here yield a quality of wine that has put Israel at the forefront of winemakers worldwide. You have to see what's going on in this winery. Real high-tech stuff. Come on. Today we met with a member of the kibbutz with a big passion for wine since childhood, producing his first wine with his father in South Africa. After moving to Israel, he set up his own vineyards, getting the grapes ready for the kibbutz's first harvest. I think there's something really special about going on a wine tour in the Judean hills. I mean, this was a major wine-producing region for thousands of years, since the days of the Bible, right?
Correct. It's picking up again. Today we noticed that just in the Judean hills we've got 38 wineries, some of them small, some of them big, so the industry is coming back.
So with wine making a huge comeback and the Judean hills becoming an extremely popular spot to grow grapes, local growers have hit the region's maximum capacity. So what makes this area such an ideal spot for growing grapes?
First of all, the elevation. We're 730 meters above sea level. We've got terrace and limestone soils, which are two ideal soils for growing grapes. Difference between day and night, we've got anything from 10 to 15 degrees Celsius between day and night temperatures, which is really good for grapes.
These sprawling vineyards grow the grapes for some of Israel's finest high-quality wines. Let's try some.
Sweet.
Juicy and sweet. The local geography and climate is perfect for grape growing, with ideal annual temperatures here in the Jerusalem mountains. So what do you do to protect the grapes from any insects or?
First of all our vineyards are eco-friendly. The only reason why our vineyards are not organic is because we do spray weeds here chemically. But as far as spraying our vineyards, everything is sprayed organically. We work with pheromones. If you look over here, these are pheromones. Basically, one of the problems in vineyards is you've got butterflies who lay eggs inside the bunches of grapes. And when the eggs hatch, the worms eat the grapes and the grapes go rotten. So basically what the pheromones are, it's the smell of the female butterfly, which we hang up in the vineyard. And when the butterflies come to lay their eggs, there's like a carpet of female smell over the vineyard, and they'll just go to another vineyard and plant their eggs. And it's fresh.
What does a female butterfly smell like? Let's see.
It's very subtle.
It's too subtle to
Yeah.
tell.
It's also at the end of the season, so I don't know if there's any smell left there.
So we checked out the vineyards, really awesome place, delicious grapes. Where are we headed to next?
Now we're going to go through to an ancient wine press
Okay.
from the first temple, about 2,800 years old, to see how the process of wine was made in biblical times.
The ancient wine press provides a window to the winemaking past. So this has been around when David HaMelech was king.
Correct. As far as this wine press is concerned, you could call this the Carmel Mizrahi of biblical times. It's not just one hole, it's a major industry here. What used to happen here, the grapes used to come down in baskets. They used to lay them down one on top of another. You'll notice that there's all these holes in the walls.
Yep.
Where they would put a big pole, squeeze all the juice out,
Okay, so they would stomp on the grapes in this section here. It would go through this
Through this hole, yeah.
It's crazy that this hole is still intact.
Into the tank.
Uh-huh.
It'll go through fermentation, and then they would transfer it into the storage tank, which is the largest tank out of all of them.
Okay, we have a hole here from this
Correct.
hole.
And then you can go down in here.
Oh, that goes deep down. Wow. This is like 3 meters down.
Correct.
So this is where all the juices of the
All the finished wine.
Thankfully, foot stomping was replaced with modern wine presses. So we headed back to the Tsuba factory for a peek into their kosher certified facility. Why don't you walk us through the process from the vineyards to here?
What happens here is the grapes arrive here about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. We do a night harvest by hand. Now the main reason why we do a night harvest is so the grapes can arrive here as cold as possible. Here we de-stem them. All the peels and the juice get pumped up into our tanks where they go through alcoholic fermentation. Alcoholic fermentation will take anything from 2 to 4 weeks. Once they finish alcoholic fermentation, we take all the juice out of the tanks, we press the peels, all the clean juice goes back into the tanks where it goes through its second fermentation, which is called malolactic fermentation. It happens spontaneously, we do not interfere. All we basically do is keep the wine between 22 to 24 degrees Celsius. So then everything will go back into the tanks. From there it'll get transferred into French oak barrels, where it'll spend anything from 14 to 24 months in barrels.
So after a full day of exploring the vineyards, I think we deserve some wine.
Correct.
So what do we have here? We have red wine, white wine.
We've got our Chardonnay. It's a 2016 Chardonnay. It's a non-malolactic Chardonnay, which means it doesn't go through second fermentation.
Fine, cheers. Tasty. So you opened up a winery at the time where the wine industry here in Israel was really booming, right?
Correct. Well, we actually planted the vineyards when the wine industry was booming, which was in '96. It started off. 2005 we opened up our winery, and we've been growing grapes ever since then and producing wine since 2005. This is our 2015 Mitsuda. It's a Bordeaux blend, 75% Cabernet, 20% Merlot, and 5% Cabernet Franc, aged for 18 months in French oak, a young wine.
Tasting wine like the pros is all about utilizing your 5 senses and always holding a wine glass by its stem.
Basically what you're doing when you're looking at the wine, you're looking at the color of it.
It's a
rich color, correct. Now always when smelling, we give it a bit of a swirl in order to put oxygen in the wine.
And now to finally taste the wine, an experience which stimulates multiple senses at once.
You'll take a sip, you'll swirl it around inside your mouth, including the inner parts of your palate, while sucking oxygen through your teeth. You'll swallow, you'll wait a few seconds, and then you'll take another sip and you'll judge the wine. And obviously the 5th sense, a sense of sound, l'chaim. But now you'll notice you must actually make that noise. We want to hear that sucking.
Wow.
And you'll feel now that your mouth is much more full of flavors.
Aside from growing grapes and other fresh produce, the kibbutz is home to another delicious stop, the Galita Chocolate and Praline Shop, just a few steps from the winery. Galita offers fun chocolate making workshops not just for children, but for chocolate lovers of all ages.
This is our workshop examples. We have a workshop for everyone.
So as fun as making chocolate houses and making chocolate tractors look, I think we should work our way into the advanced workshop, making pralines and all this fun stuff.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'll give you an apron that you don't want to get dirty.
Kids can decorate lollipops while adults can create the perfect praline. Okay, so we are working on 2 different chocolate designs, right?
Yes.
You're working on the chocolate bars, and I'm doing the pralines.
First of all, you have here chocolate with nougat in it.
Ooh.
You have to stir it really, really well.
Wow, look how smooth this chocolate.
Yes. So now you have to fill those all the way to the top. You can put topping on.
Look how many toppings we have here. I mean, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 toppings we could choose from. So I think chocolate is a really nice way to bring people together. Because everybody loves chocolate, right?
Actually, chocolate that you make yourself is the best chocolate in the world.
And because Galita uses some of the highest of quality chocolate ingredients, it's bound to be delicious.
The chocolate is made for two parts of things. They have the cocoa and the cocoa butter. And there's not sitting properly. So it's have to be moved all the time, up and down, up and down. It's have to, every day we have to cool it.
So I'm finished with this. Now this has to be refrigerated.
Yeah, that's gonna go into the fridge, and then we'll do the second part of them.
How do you like it?
Wow.
Nice, huh? Galita Workshop offers a fun experience and even sweet souvenirs to take home.
It's your work.
All right, Natalie.
Yes.
Israel is all about mixing the old and the new. We've covered this whole phenomenon so many times here on the show. And there's actually a place in Jerusalem with a lot of history. It used to be the main train stop for the whole city of Jerusalem. And today they've turned it into a really cool place where people are doing all kinds of different events.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
We've covered something like that in Tel Aviv.
Okay, but this one,
HaTachana.
that's true. And it's been quite a success. There's all kinds of things going on there. This one's in Jerusalem. I think we should go check it out.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Cool, let's go.
In the heart of historic Jerusalem, a significant piece of history has come back to life with a new purpose: the first station. It seems like Israelis are experts in taking something old and repurposing it into something new. And in a country with so much history, it's no surprise that there are examples like this everywhere you turn. The first station served as a railway that was once the main public transit between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. And today it has become a rich cultural center that combines leisure and lifestyle. On any given day, you'll find festivals, galleries, exhibits, and fun for the whole family. The venue also helps preserve the history and tradition of its roots. Now, this train station was active for about a century, from the late 1800s to the late 1900s. Who actually built it?
The first station was basically the first train station to Jerusalem. It was built in 1892 by the Ottoman Empire.
The station was in operation through the time of the British Empire until Israeli independence and into statehood.
Basically, it started in Jaffa and it came to Jerusalem. An important part of the first station in Jerusalem, they were able to pass infrastructure to Jerusalem to build it. And until then, before the train, they couldn't do that.
So what could we see here behind us? This was the main building in the Jerusalem station?
Yes, this was the original terminal for passengers, that basically all of the passengers that came to the train, like we can see the original train tracks here, all the passengers came through these doors. There's 10 doors.
The station served thousands of people daily, including international elite and other leaders. Anyone who visited Jerusalem by train walked these exact steps.
It was the main place they got to when they came to Jerusalem.
So what happened after the station closed?
So in 1998, they closed down the train station, and the place became very neglected. There were people that came, they burned the buildings, there was a whole bunch of junkies that lived here, and basically the place died from 1998 until 2013.
In 2013, investors decided to rebuild the place and accurately restore the glory of the buildings. The conservation of the complex allows the buildings to tell their own story without words.
Right between these two pictures, we can see two different structures, because the Turks, they built up to this, the original building was up to this line, and then when the British came, they needed to make the building bigger, so they added in an extra part.
So this is a train from the 1800s.
Yep.
In 1892, the first train arrived into the Jerusalem station from Jaffa. Once the travel time was reduced to 3 hours, the train quickly became a popular and profitable means of transportation. here you have old images of how the
Yes.
train station used to look
Yeah.
all those years ago.
This is from 1900, exactly the year 1900. You see where it ended? In 1900 in the Turkish Empire? It didn't go after that.
Today, the first station is also home to some of Jerusalem's best restaurants. Now, we all know Jerusalem is home to some of the finest restaurants. Some are even housed in buildings that date back to a bygone era. Today, we're here at Restaurant Adom, where the chef incorporates local produce to create international cuisine. Alongside many cafes, boutiques, and shops lies a restaurant which is both upscale and yet a simple eatery. This restaurant has been around for quite some time, right?
Yeah, 17 years.
17 years.
Yeah.
So, what do you think it is that keeps people coming back for more?
I think it's the quality, and we also be the first at Jerusalem to give the customer environment with the food.
For those who don't already know, the word Adom means red in Hebrew, symbolizing the red wine, which makes sense because the restaurant began as a wine bar. When we entered the restaurant, you could just see decorating the wall is hundreds of bottles of red wine, white wine, right?
Yeah, over there, and also the bar. All the bar is a box of wine.
So we have to have a wine tasting later on. And that's exactly what we did. From Adom's refrigerated back wall, we selected some wines for a tasting.
Our wine collection is pretty extensive. We handpicked every wine. We serve international and local wines.
Quite a list you got there. The wine menu comes in a box with wines listed by type, with whites, reds, sparkling, dessert, and champagnes to choose from.
The Israeli wines we have are really special. Most of them you can get in different restaurants. In Israel, you grow wines up north, in the Golan Heights, and there's a local industry here in Jerusalem around in the Judean Heights. It really differentiates the taste of the wine.
The Judean hills are among the areas producing the best quality wine, ranging from the mountains north of Jerusalem to south of Hebron, where warm days and cool nights make for a perfect grape-growing climate. Okay, so why don't we try some wine today?
Sure.
The restaurant menu offers dishes in a variety of styles, all utilizing the highest quality ingredients available.
The ingredients is local. The food is international. We make also seafood and things, but interpretation of Israel and Jerusalem. So we use a lot of eggplant, coriander.
We want to try what all the customers go crazy for, okay? So what are you going to make for us today?
I'm gonna make masabaka. Okay.
What's masabaka?
It's like a piece of fish and chickpea, like ingredients and tomato, garlic. Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's do this. Onion. Good chop onion. Me. I have a whole chili, spicy chili. Here I put like, I have a cubes of fish. I have also confit lemon.
Is this a spicy dish?
Bito, not spicy.
A little spicy, okay. Picante.
Confit tomato, salt, pepper. I'm gonna throw some chickpeas.
Woo! I love when they do that.
And that's it. Do you want to taste it?
Amazing.
Good?
It looks good already. It smells great. It's a shame you guys can't smell this food home.
People, I think, like they appreciate, and we appreciate them. Like we're giving good vibes, and we're giving good food to make them crazy. We from our food, yeah.
Make them crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy about the food.
And we make crazy them in a good way, though.
All right, well, it's time to try this food. Let's go, Max. What's really popular in Israeli cuisine is mixing the ingredients, mixing everything together, the yogurt sauce, the dips. all of the ingredients in one bite.
Most of the customers after 10 o'clock come to the bar. They like it more. It's a little bit younger, more noise.
Well, that's it for us this week. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Cruising Israel. We love having you with us.
Don't forget to catch us next time as we cruise the country and show you the best Israel has to offer.
Bye.